The county judge set bond for Gina Mitchell at more than $1 million.
Mitchell was allegedly behind the wheel of a stolen SUV on Saturday when she lost control, hit a minivan, and flipped it onto its roof. The crash killed her grandson, Logan. Live from the Justice Center now, Rich Jaffe explains that not everyone buys the police version of the events, right, Rich?
That's right, Cammie. Right now, Mitchell is being held here at the Justice Center on 3 different charges, 2 counts of aggravated vehicular homicide and 1 count of theft. The homicide charges each caught a $500,000 bond, and the theft charge another $15,000. So Gina Mitchell's clearly not going anywhere. But the question is, did Mitchell steal a vehicle and then put a couple of kids at risk by allegedly drinking and or doing drugs, or is something else really going on here? While Gina Mitchell has been in court many times, today she was wheeled in for arraignment on what is undoubtedly the toughest case she's ever faced, the death of her 4-year-old grandson, Logan. Mitchell was allegedly behind the wheel of her daughter's Ford Explorer Saturday night when she lost control of it on the Clay-Wade-Bailey Bridge, hit another vehicle head-on, and flipped the SUV. Her grandson, Logan, sustained critical injuries and died a short time later at Children's Hospital.
As for Logan to be the age he was a smart little boy, though. I'm 54 years old, and I ain't never seen a boy get a bike without training wheels and ride it like he did. And he's smart.
Ben Patterson is Mitchell's live-in boyfriend. He says Gina had spent the day with the kids at Washington Park and had been driving her daughter's SUV all day long. He says all of them were in the apartment Saturday evening when he was asked to go to Kentucky and get formula for the baby. Then Gina jumped up to do it.
I heard Toya ask me to go to Kentucky to get the baby's milk to bring it back here. Gina was laying on the bed. Gina got up and put her clothes on and got the keys and went to get the milk.
A short time later, as Mitchell returned from Kentucky, she lost control of the SUV on the bridge and the little boy was killed. According to police, though, Mitchell's daughter, Taria, says her mom took the keys and had been told not to drive the vehicle.
No, it wasn't no argument or not. Like I say, all I say, she asked me to go get the milk, and Gina got up and went to go get the milk. That's all it was to it. Wasn't no arguments or nothing.
Tell me about Gina. What kind of person is she?
To me, she's like she's a good person. To me, she kind of evil, but she's like she's a good person. Can't say much bad about her.
Now, according to police, Gina Mitchell was actually ejected from that SUV. It's hard to imagine. It was a horrendous scene. Her 9-year-old daughter also made it out of that SUV without any serious injuries. The little boy, according to the police investigation at this point, was restrained in some fashion in the right rear passenger seat. Police are now trying to figure out whether or not he was properly restrained in that seat. At the Justice Center, Rich Jaffe, Local 12 News. Cammie?
Rich, what about the 9-year-old daughter? Was she properly restrained, or did they know that?
I'm told by the investigators that indeed she also was restrained in some fashion. I'm guessing she had a seat belt or perhaps a shoulder harness on. So again, you have to picture this. Both kids were belted in some fashion, and Gina Mitchell gets ejected from the vehicle. She wasn't wearing a seat belt at all. Really just a horrible scene and a very, very big tragedy for a whole lot of folks.
Yeah, it's amazing she even lived through it. Rich, thank you for the report. Now, in the next week or so, the case against Gina Mitchell will be presented to a Hamilton County grand jury. She's due back in court again on June 11th.